Hi everybody, I'm Becky with the Simple Spruce Studio, where I take ordinary finds, spruce them up, and give them new life. Welcome to my channel, everybody. This is my very first YouTube video, guys, so I'm excited to get started. Here on my channel, I go to thrift stores, flea markets, antique stores, garage sales, Goodwill. I do thrift shopping and purchase items. I want to come on here and show you guys the items that I actually purchase and decide to flip and upcycle. Then I will take you through the process of how I go about upcycling them, just to spruce them up and give them new life. So if you guys are interested in that, I hope you will hit the subscribe button. I hope you will give this video a big thumbs up and share it. So I'm gonna get started. I'm gonna show you some of these I actually thrifted from my sister's house. I know that probably sounds a little crazy, but she is downsizing and changing her decor. And plus she has a lot of older items that she inherited from other family members and mother-in-law and all that stuff. So she was purging and getting rid of some stuff. So of course she calls me and is like, you want to do anything with this before I throw it away? So of course, you know, I had to go check it out. So what I want to start with showing you guys some of the items that I've gotten from her. Let's see, I went to a garage sale, and actually one of the items is from Dollar General that I'm gonna upcycle, and then I got one from an antique store that I guess it's called Half Crocked, I think is what it was. And I'm going to spruce it up and give it new life. This here little basket is actually from Dollar General, and I love the look of this basket. I love the shape of it. I love that it's metal. I don't care too much for the color. So I'm going to just spruce it up a little bit and decorate it and show you guys how it turns out. So we've got that item. I've got this from a resale shop. This adorable basket. I love baskets. It's very sturdy. It's a strong basket. So I always look for that. If it's kind of weak and kind of janky, I usually pass on them, but this is gonna be really cute. I'm thinking about maybe doing some kind of whitewash on it, and I'm gonna fill it with some kind of greenery or lavender. So we've got this item. And I got these at a garage sale that I recently went to, and there's two of them. They're little candle sconces, but I could not pass these up, guys. These are actually teak, real teak wood. Genuine teak, Thailand. And it's just, it says good wood. Not familiar with that or anything, but I'm going to, you know, melt the wax out of it and probably, you know, clean the globes up, paint these, maybe distress them a little bit. Not sure yet, but I could not pass these up. I love the shape of them. I just love the look of them. Just not fond of the color. So, and I've got another one. So we got two of those. These are cute. Okay, then we've got this I got from a thrift store. I've got an idea of what I want to do with this. It's one of those silver trays that doesn't have the bottom, or I have the lid to it, but I'm gonna save that maybe for another project. But I do want to do something. I have a plan for this. So, and yes, it entails painting it. So I'm excited about that piece. We've got, what else? This here. The rest of this I think came from my sister's house. Now you guys know that Cottagecore is getting really popular, and it doesn't mean farmhouse is going away, but Cottagecore is, and I love it. You're adding more colors and bringing the outdoors in, botanicals and stuff like that, artificial flowers and real flowers. The colors, to me, it kind of reminds me of more like I don't know, like stuff you would see in your grandma's house, more like granny chic, but like with a romantic twist to it. So I'm loving it, guys. I am. And when I seen this with the gold, the frame with the gold, and I do not want to change the gold frame on this either, but I just loved this. I love the colors. I thought this was so cute, but we're going to spruce it up. We're going to add to it. So I have a plan for this too. So I was excited when I seen that. Oh, and I got this cute little horse my sister was going to throw away because the tail broke off of it. But that is fixable. But look at all the details. And it is actually raised and textured. So I even thought that just doing a textured paint treatment on this or making it look like concrete would just change the whole look of this. So of course I had to grab it. That's the way his tail goes on. I thought that was adorable, so I'm gonna do something with that one. We've got this little dish. This also came from my sister's. Same thing. I love the texture of it. Not fond of the color, but I love the look. I love all the detail on it. So I've got that one. And this, guys, I even love the green on this. This might not even get changed. I might just clean it up a little bit, but I thought it was adorable. I can use this to stage items, but isn't that cute? And she was gonna get rid of this. I love that. And then we got this awesome bowl. Now this is, I don't know what it's made out of. I don't know if it's some kind of resin, but it looks like concrete already. So this might just get a different paint texture on it. Not real sure, still in the thought process on this one. But too cute. So yes, so there is some of the items that I have collected over the last few weeks. So, and I'm excited about getting started on transforming them, flipping them, and I'm going to resale. So yeah, so stick around if you guys are interested and want to see the finished products on these and how they turn out and the process that I go through to upcycle them. Make sure that you hit subscribe, make sure you hit the thumbs up, and also hit the bell, the notification bell, so you'll be notified anytime I upload a new video so you won't miss anything. So, all right guys, let's get started. Okay, so I'm going to start with the bottom of the bowl. I usually like to start with my items turned upside down, get the bottom of it done, try to get those dried, and then do the top and the inside of it. So I'm just taking a regular old paintbrush, nothing good, nothing fancy, because I just want to get it on there. So you can see here, I've got the whole bottom of it covered. I'm getting it all into the little crevices of the braided edge of the bowl with a smaller brush. So we get all that covered, and then I will take my heat gun and dry it. Okay, so now we are going to turn it over, and we're going to do the exact same thing on the other side. Just get the whole thing covered. And you can see I'm going in with my paintbrush and just going in all different directions. I just want to give this more of a textured look. So, and then we're going to get that dry. Now, my heat gun I got from Harbor Freight for about 10 bucks, guys. And this thing has been going strong for like 2 years, over 2 years now. So I love it. It helps speed up that process. Okay, so here we got it all dried. I'm going to turn it back over, and I'm going to take a piece of sandpaper, and I'm going to rough up just a little bit of it just to bring back that kind of terracotta color back through. And I'm not real fond of the terracotta, the brightness of that terracotta coming through with that gray. But you'll see when I go to add the white wax, it softens it up. But I do like giving it that little bit of a worn, rough look to it with the sandpaper. And I'm using an 80 grit sandpaper here. But you can use 220. If you can notice, my sandpaper is pretty worn. So it's not a full 80 grit. So this thing has seen better days. So it's actually probably more of a 220 grit sandpaper at this point. So I'm just roughing up there's a little ridge underneath the braid on the bowl that sticks out, that if you turn the bowl over and set it up right, if you're looking at it you straight on, you can kind of see that little ridge. So I wanted that to be a little roughed up. And then when I go to turn it over, you will see that I rough up some of the braided areas. Nothing major, just a little subtle bit of sanding on it. So you can see the spots where I sanded it along the top of the braid there. And this is DIY white wax. I love this stuff, you guys. And it's just a no-name brand. I mean, it's just a simple wax brush that I'm using. To be honest, I don't know if I got it at Walmart, Lowe's, or where, but it works. It works good. It'll lose a few bristles because it's been used quite a bit, but other than that, it works perfect. But this white wax is so buttery smooth. It goes on so easy, and it's easy to work in your projects. And if you notice, I'm trying to get it down into all the grooves, all the little creases in there, because when I go back with a baby wipe and wipe off the excess, I want it to stay down in the grooves, and I'm just kind of wiping it off the high areas. And that just gives that concrete look that I'm going for. It gives it a little bit of dimension. I love this look. I love this technique. Like I said, I'm not sponsored by DIY or anybody, but I will let you guys know the products that I use, if I like them. If I don't like them, I'll let you know. Everybody's got their own preferences of the stuff they use, but I really do like the DIY paints and their waxes. So here I'm just going to wipe all the excess off, and the wax is a sealer. It will act as a sealer for your chalk paints.
because you guys know that chalk paints, especially DIY paints, they're water soluble. Well, DIY paints is a clay-based paint, but I use the Waverly paint on this. But this wax is a sealer. Also, the DIY wax is all natural, an all natural product. So if you notice, I'm taking a little spoon and spooning it out because I don't want to dip my brush into it and cross-contaminate it because it will get a funky smell. And there is my little helper. That is my cat, my big tomcat, Ro. He wanted to check out to see what I was doing, make sure I was doing everything right. So again, I'm just wiping back all that excess wax. And look at that. I love the look of this. I love that concrete look. And it's such an easy technique. So, and if you don't want to wipe back that much of the wax, you want more to be on there, then just use like a dry, lint-free rag. I use paper towels, you know, just to wipe back if I don't want that much to come off. But if I want more of it to come off and let that other color, that base color to come through, I will use the baby wipes or a wet rag. I think the baby wipes work really good for me. So I always keep those handy. So, but yes, look at that. I love it. I love how that turned out. So yes, you guys have to let me know in the comments what you think, but is that not gorgeous? That looks like a solid concrete bowl. Okay, moving on to project number 2. These 2 items I thrifted. They are those glass globes that go on there. They're gorgeous. I love the shape of them. I love the squatty look of them. But these little teak, they're solid teak candle holders. Of course, they have the old wax in them. And yes, so I take my heat gun again and go to try to melt the wax out. This is a chore in itself. It took a little bit longer than I thought. I thought, I'm just going to heat it up. It's going to pour out and it's going to be good. So I will actually speed through the process of trying to get the wax out of these 2. I even char the inside of one of the candlestick holders with the heat gun, holding it on there a little too long and a little too close. You might see that in one of these pictures here, but but no worries. It's no biggie because I am going to paint these. I do like a lot of natural woods, but the only thing that dates these is the color of the wood. So I want to update them. So I am going to go and paint them. After, see, I've even gotten brought out the big guns and started scraping it out. Okay, here you can see one of them was darker on the inside. So that was the one I charred. But it's all good. So we're going to take these outside and we're going to spray paint them with some Rust-Oleum flat black spray paint. I did 2 coats on them. And then I'm going to clear coat those with a polyacrylic spray. I love this stuff. I do use it a lot. So I'm going to go ahead and finish off spraying those. And we're going to let them dry. And yeah, my spray can is kind of spitting a little, but it doesn't hurt anything. Okay, so we're back in. They are dry, and I love the color. But we are going to take our sandpaper again. Again, it's 80 grit, 220 will work. But I'm going to sand off around the edges. So we're going to sand back down to that teak wood and bring a little bit of that through just to give these some character. You can see there that I'm going all the way down to the wood. And I do this on both of them. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to use my Waverly Antiquing glaze or wax that you can get from Walmart. And I'm going to use a baby wipe, and we're going to go over these. Got to get a drink, guys. Mom's thirsty. So yeah, so there's like 4 little ridges there around each one of those, and I just scuff those up, and those are the only places that I scuff them up. I don't want it to look too rough or too rustic. So yeah, so you can see there that I got those 4 little ridges, and then I do the same thing with the second one. And then, like I said, I'm going to take a baby wipe, and I'm going to use the full strength antiquing wax from Walmart that is by Waverly. And I'm telling you guys, this is one of my favorite techniques. I love using that wax on black paint. It just literally, it riches it. It gives it such a rich look to it. And it also richens that scuffed up areas, the wood that's showing through. I love the look of it. I did a whole dresser. My oldest daughter moved home from Florida and then got an apartment, and she had a dresser that she wanted redone because it was very dated. I'll have to post pictures of that for you guys. It turned out really good. And she likes the more of the industrial look. So I did the whole dresser black, scuffed it up, and then I took the Waverly antique wax and went over all of it. And it turned out gorgeous. I love the look that wax does. So here I'm just dusting it off, getting all the dust off and off my work area. And here I'm going to show you. See, that bottle has seen better days. That's the one I used for the dresser. And I'm just going to use what's in the lid, and we're going to take some baby wipes and dip that in there and polish these up. So you just start rubbing it on is all you do. And like I said, the waxes are a sealer for your paints. But these are going to be on my website for sale. And if anything that I'm usually going to sell or ship, I will also, once that wax sets up for at least 24 hours, I will take them back out into the garage and do another coat of polyacrylic on them. Just to look at that, guys. Look at that. Do you see how gorgeous that looks compared to the other one without the wax? I'm telling you, I love this stuff. It is gorgeous. And wait till you see these with the globes back on them. I think they're beautiful pieces. So yes, and if you are interested in purchasing any of these items that you're going to see here today, you can check them out on my website at thesimplesprucestudio.com. I love that. I think they turned out beautiful. All right, moving on to project number 3. This I thrifted from my sister. Is it a pear, guys? You guys help me out here. Is it a pear? I'm calling it a pear. And it, again, is not concrete. It is some kind of type of resin, but it is it's heavy. It's kind of substantial. But we're going to do the same technique on this as I did on the bowl. We're going to use our mineral paint by Waverly and just a little drop of the truffle paint just to soften that gray a little bit. I'm going to mix that up, and then we're going to do the baking soda just to give it a little bit more texture. Gotta find my little wooden fork. I found these little wooden utensils at the dollar store, guys. They work wonderful for this because I do a lot of textured paint stuff. So anytime I'm mixing colors or baking soda or whatnot, these are awesome. So yeah, you have to look for them. They're kind of cute too. So here I'm doing the baking soda half and half. I usually do half paint, half baking soda, and get that all mixed up. And depending on how much texture you want to add to your project, because you can always add more baking soda depending on what kind of look you're going for. And I try not to mix up more than I'm going to use because this, once you add the baking soda to the paint, it does not it doesn't keep well. So I try, it doesn't always work, but I try not to mix up more than I'm going to use. But I try to mix up enough to get through my project, especially if you're mixing colors, because sometimes you're not always going to get the same ratio, especially if you're like me and you don't measure. I don't measure anything. I just eye it. Even when I hang pictures, guys, I'm telling you, I eye everything. All right, so now we're going to get to painting. I think this one turns out so cute too. Not that the green is a bad color, but it's not really my style. I mean, it might go in some vignettes, but I wanted to do the concrete look. So here we're going to get this all painted up. And again, I'm going to get out the white wax, and we're going to white wax this just to bring out all that texture and detail in this pear. All right, so there it is, dry. And now we're going to get the DIY white wax out. You can also use dark wax on this too, depending on the look you're going for. But I found out that when using the dark wax, I will always use a clear wax first. I'll use the clear wax and buff my item and then go over with the dark wax. Because if you put the clear wax on first, that gives you easier control with the dark wax. Again, I'm going to spoon it out. I don't want to cross-contaminate. I've never had any of my DIY products develop an odor from cross-contaminating them, but I don't want it to happen. So I try to remember not to stick my brushes in there unless I'm down to the bottom of the can or something, and I know I'm not going to have that much longer use of it. So, but again, we're just going to take our little wax brush and brush this into all the details and all the crevices, and then we're going to take a baby wipe and we're going to wipe it back. And all my wax brushes, I very rarely clean them. I always just keep them in a Ziploc bag so they don't harden up. And if they do get a little stiff, I'll just massage them on a piece of cloth or a paper towel just to soften them up. But look at that. Is that not cute? Now, if you notice, some of that green is coming back from using the baby wipes because chalk paints or they're water soluble. So if you wipe too much or too hard, you will wipe some of that off. But I think that looked awesome. All right, we're on to project number 4, this carousel horse, also thrifted from my sister. Which I love the horse. It is gorgeous. It did have a broken tail and she was going to throw it away. Well, I'm going to use some Starbond glue. Y'all, this Starbond glue has been awesome for me so far. I've used it on so many different types of materials and I've had such good luck with it. So, and I keep testing it out. Wood to metal, wood to wood, plastics, all kinds of things. I'm sure many more, and I can't think of them right now. But it comes in medium, or thin, medium, and thick. I find myself using the medium a lot. So what I'm going to do is just put it on the horse. Then I'm going to take the accelerator spray and spray the tail. And then put them together. And you got to work pretty quick with this because once you spray that accelerator and put your items together, you've got 10 to 15 seconds and that is set up. So I love this stuff, especially for when you're doing live videos or something and you need that quick hold. This stuff is good. And I will put a link in the description for my Amazon storefront. If you're interested in checking out that glue, again, it's Starbond glue. You can find that in there. It's in my Amazon store. You will not be disappointed. Again, I am not sponsored by anybody, but I will let you guys know the products I like and that work for me. Okay, the horse, I love everything about it but the color. So we're going to fix that. We are using Rust-Oleum linen white, chalked, I think it's chalked paint. So, and we are just going to paint this horse up and give it a fresh, nice fresh look. And to make sure you get down into all the little crevices. Horses are very popular here lately. We've had a lot of people ask for horse items. I guess a lot of people like that equestrian, is that what it is? Decor. So, but if you notice, this horse does have a lot of texture and detail to it. Especially on the mane, you can see there. Very, very cute. Okay, here we've got it completely painted and dried. And I'm taking my sandpaper and we're going to rough up the edges, bring back some of the detail. A lot of my projects I like to take and spray paint black and then seal them with polyacrylic and then paint them white and distress back to the black. But I really liked the colors in this horse to show through the distressing just a little bit, just a hint of the different colors. So I did not do the black. I let the colors come through on it. Now this one here, I like the colors the way they are. And since it's white, I'm not going to white wax. We're going to use the DIY clear wax to seal the paint in. And here I've got some Rub and Buff. And I think it's the antique gold. I'll have to check and make sure, and I'll put it in the description, but I think I'm using the antique gold to highlight some of the details on this one. So, and these you can also find in my Amazon store too if you're interested. I love using the Rub and Buff. You can use it on furniture hardware. And here I'm just using a brush and brushing it on. A lot of times I'll just use my finger depending on how much I want to be able to control it. And then I'll just take a paper towel and kind of rub it in. But I want to give it that shiny antique gold look on all the detail. And these little tubes, they look like small tubes, guys, but they go a long way. They last a long time. So yeah, I'm just going to keep adding it on there until I think it looks good. Look at that, guys. Is that not beautiful? So pretty. I love it. Like I said, I mainly concentrate on the detailed areas. All right, look at that. There is the finished project. And I do take clear wax and go over it to seal it in. All right, project number 5. I have this silver tray that I took and painted. I spray painted it with a chalked finish. And we are going to make a little riser tray out of this. Now, the boards that I have there are leftover hardwood flooring that we have in our house. I just wood glued 2 pieces of the hardwood flooring together, put some clamps on it, let it dry overnight. And here I'm taking my tray and I've got the board turned upside down and we're going to trace out the size that we need. Sorry about the messy hair bun in the way, guys. So I just traced that out, and then I'm going to take my saw, my jigsaw, and I'm going to cut that out. And if you notice, I have my camera pole sitting on my workbench there. So when I go to cut this out, it shakes just a tad. So you'll notice that here in a minute. But yes, the silver tray I painted with white chalk paint, spray paint, and sealed that with a polyacrylic spray. So yes, here, make sure you got your safety glasses on. And I know that the view is awful here. And you cannot see what I'm doing. I apologize for that. Have some grace for me, guys. This is my very first actual video for YouTube. So, but yes, not sure what I'm doing here. Maybe I forgot my safety glasses and I had to go get them. I think that's what it was. And then if you notice, everything starts shaking and I realized, okay, I'm going to lose the footage. But there we go. The magic of TV, guys. It's a finished piece. So yes, so again, we're going back to the Waverly Antique Wax and a baby wipe. So I wanted to just richen up the color of that wood. And actually, I am using the underneath side of the wood. That is not what my flooring looks like. That is the bottom of it. So I'm going to push that down inside there. We're going to get it to where we want it. I love this project, guys. Because you can find those little silver trays everywhere here, around our area anyway. But they never have the inserts or the lids. Well, this one was missing the insert. I had the tray itself and the lid, but not the insert for it. So we're going to make one. And I love taking that metal, the silver tray, and adding the wood, the softness to it. So here we're just going to take our brad nailer and we're going to shoot some brad nails into it to hold it in place so it doesn't fall all the way through. So I think I do maybe 2 or 3 on each side. And you can always go back. I mean, your brad nails are, you know, silver, don't match, but you go back and touch them up with just a little dab of white paint and you will never be able to see them. Here I'm just making sure it's all lined up. And when doing this, make sure you got your safety glasses on and keep your fingers out of the way. So this is one of my favorite pieces. I really like the way this turned out. I think it's really pretty. And I think I actually take some sandpaper and scuff up some of the paint just to give it that weathered look that it's, you know, been around for a while. But I think it turned out really great. Yep, there's the sandpaper again, guys. And if you don't like the distressed look, by all means, skip that step. But this is me, my style. I love that distressed look. It's just bringing out the little details in the legs. Yeah, how cute is this? This turns out adorable. I love it. And there you have it. Again, this will be on my website for sale, and I do take it out. I do spray a coat of polyacrylic over the whole thing just to make sure that that paint's all sealed in and the wax on the wood. All right, moving on to project number 6. I bought this from Dollar General, this basket. I love the fact that it's like a little wire basket. I love the shape of it. The only thing I did not like is the color of it. So here we're using the Krylon Chalky Finish spray paint. And this is one of the easiest flips there is to do. So this just gets a fresh coat of paint. And that is all that it takes. And it just gives it new life. It just brightens it up. I don't sand it. I don't distress it. I don't do anything else to it. I spray it with the spray paint and then a coat of polyacrylic to make sure that it's all sealed in. And it looks like a brand new piece. Sometimes that's all things need. I mean, it just to change the color on them, to update them, or to make them fit into your decor, whether you spray paint that white or black. So it depends on what your decor style is. All right, project number 7. This picture I thought was beautiful. I love the gold frame around it. I love the painting itself. My sister, another item I thrifted from her, she was going to throw away. It's even signed at the bottom. I've never done any research on it, so I don't know if it's, worth anything or well sought after, anything like that. But it's kind of just, it's not substantial enough. I wanted a more of a substantial look to it. So we're going to add to it. First, we're going to take off the sawtooth hanger because that's not what it's going to be hung from. You'll see here, I have an old detailed frame that I used on another project, and I ended up taking it apart. And so I had the frame sitting there for a while. So that's what I'm going to use. And there it is. Look at the detail, y'all. And this frame was also gold. You can see it right there. When I distressed back, I brought the gold back through it. So adding this other picture, this other painting to it with the gold already, it was perfect. So I'm going to put that on there. But if you notice, it's not quite wide enough. You can see through the sides. It's tall. The height of it is perfect for the white frame, but it's not quite wide enough. You can see, I think I'll hold it up here in a second and show you. You can see through it. So to fix that, what I'm going to do is just take some basic paint sticks. Yes, just I don't know if I use the 5-gallon or the 1-gallon paint sticks. Either one will work. That's the big paint sticks, the 5-gallon. So I just mark off the size that I need, and you can see the little lip around the inside of the frame there where they can sit. And presto, we've got some cut to size. That easy. So of course we're going to take them and paint them white. And then we are going to attach them to the frame. That's simple. This project was very, very easy and turns out gorgeous. And this one I am keeping for myself. I think this is going to look beautiful in my spare bedroom. I will probably post some pictures for you guys when I get it hung up. But I think I'm just using Waverly, the Waverly white paint on this, because I think that's what I did the picture frame in. So, but there's going to be so little of those paint sticks showing through on the sides that if it was just a slight different color of white, y'all, nobody'd ever be able to notice. But it's just to keep you from seeing through that little gap in that. So, yep, again, we're going to take our little heat gun. We're going to dry those up real quick. Don't even need to waste paint for the other side of the paint sticks. Now, if I was going to sell this, I would finish off the back real nice and clean and all that good stuff. But for me, I know that I'm keeping this piece, so I'm not going to mess with that part of it. So here I'm just using some hot glue. I used the Gorilla Hot Glue Sticks. I think the glue gun I got from Walmart. And I'm just going to add some high temp hot glue and glue those down. All right, let that set up. And then we're going to, and see that just brought that in and closed those little gaps in right there. So when we add the, oh, see, and there I'm showing you there's a hanger already on it. So that's why we took the sawtooth hanger off the actual painting. Set that aside, and we're going to use that on another project when needed. But so you center that up, and now you can't see through those sides. Easy, easy breezy fix there, guys. And look how cool that looks with that gold painting frame on that white frame with the gold distressing, with the gold showing through it. And that it was not planned. That picture frame, the white one, was already done quite some time before. Again, we're using some hot glue to just attach it. So I put it on the top and the bottom where I know that it's going to hit the frame, the white frame, because the sides do not touch, so I did not need to add hot glue to those. I think I do go back later and use my Star-Bond glue on this just to make sure that I have a good hold, good seal on there. So I think I do. I don't show it on the video here, but I do go back and use my Star-Bond glue and the accelerator to give it a much stronger bond. All right, moving on to project number 8, another thrift item from my sister's house that I saved from a huge dumpster. Yes. So here we're using the DIY paint, and it's called Mermaid Tail. This color is definitely, it's not one of the main colors that I would use, but when I use the wax over it, it tones that color down, and it's beautiful. I love it. And there, I think I got the dark wax out. Excuse me. And that also helps tone that blue mermaid tail color down. So now this piece, I knew I had to have, and I knew I had to do a cool color on it because of the detail, of course. So, and this is the first time using mermaid tail. I did not remember that, but look at that. DIY paints are very highly pigmented. A lot of times it takes only one coat on a lot of the projects that I do, and it's one of the reasons I love it so much too. And that it's easily distressed, wet distressed. So there we've got it all. Well, not all, but almost painted. And look at that. Is that color not beautiful? Excuse me, guys. Got a tickle in my throat. But this piece turns out so pretty. I love it. And there it is. And see how much lighter it dries? It dries a lot lighter than when it goes on. Goodness. All right, we're back to some DIY white wax. Now, wait till you see the details in this thing pop. Again, I spoon it out. See, I'm doing good, remembering not to stick my brush in there. Like I said, I've never had any of my products develop an odor, but I've heard that they have, or that other people have had that happen. So just to keep it from happening, I had one friend of mine tell me that every time she opened up her wax can that her husband's like, "You're using that wax again," because he could smell it. So I'm trying to keep that from happening. Not that you can't be used. It just develops like an odor to it, I guess. Okay, so here you just make sure you rub that all into all the crevices. Get it down inside all the crevices because you're going to go back. I'm going to go back with a towel, whether it be a baby wipe or I think here I'm using a dry paper towel. And we're going to wipe back all the high areas. I think I wiped off a little too much on the little knob on the top. I did. So I'm going to go back over that, add a little bit more. So So look at that, guys. Look at that detail pop. Big thumbs up there. Love it. And see how it softens? It softens that color. Loving me some white wax. And again, the wax is a sealer for your paint, for your chalk paints. Because that DIY paint is can be reactivated very easily if it's not sealed. Once it's sealed, then you're good. So we're going to do the same step on the base of it, getting that down into all the little crevices. There was no need to paint the inside. That would have been a feat in itself. So yeah, I did not paint the inside of this. So we left it the color. And this in your little decor scape, your vignettes, is going to look beautiful. Again, this item will be on my website for sale. So be looking for that. But look at that, guys. I love this stuff. I love it. So there you can really get a good idea of how it tones down and mutes that mermaid tail color. I mean, it's beautiful either way, but once you add that white wax, now that is more my style. So gorgeous. These are the steps that I could just sit there and rewatch over and over because I just love how easy this stuff is to use and how gorgeous the projects turn out with them. I love it. Again, I am not sponsored by DIY, but I do love their products. Who knows, maybe one day I will actually even check into carrying their products on my website. As much as I use them. See, look at that. Look at the difference. And see how buttery and creamy that stuff is? It is so easy to work with. Now, I've used other waxes before that are much a firmer consistency, and they're just harder to work into your into the crevices and stuff. But that is why I like this DIY wax, because it is so easy to manipulate and to work into all those little crevices. And then just wipe back all the high spots. You can leave as much of the wax on there as you want, or remove as much as you want. Depends on, again, what kind of look you prefer or what you're going for. And then that wax. See, I mean, if you notice how my rag is turning blue, but it has not removed it, any of the paint, to where you're going back to see that ugly brown color. Don't forget the bottom. Okay, look at that brand new piece. How it took that old dated color and just updated it. It looks more like a high-end piece. All right, now we're going to the dark wax. And this stuff is the exact same way. And it only takes a little bit of the dark wax. If you notice, I'm going to end up taking a lot of it off of my brush before I actually use it. And I'm going to, sorry guys, I know I'm a little bit out of camera shot there. But we're going to put all that on there. And the white wax actually does what the clear wax would do too. It gives you the ability to manipulate the dark wax much easier. Because if you don't put clear wax on your item and then you use the dark wax, it's going to soak into your paint, and it's going to be harder to rub back what you want to rub back. I hope that makes sense. But look at that, how that just gave that more of an aged patina to it. So we're going to continue that with the whole piece. Yes, if you guys haven't tried those DIY waxes, then yeah, you should. You can change the whole look of your items with it. And look at the detail pop on that, even with the dark wax. It brings out the little lion heads on there and all that other detail. You see how that just starts popping on there? Gorgeous. So, okay, so we're going to finish that up. Again, another lion head just popped out there just by adding that to it. And I think I'm going to use some rub and buff on this. So it kind of looks like almost like a slight like copper patina kind of look. I think I go over the highlight some of the areas with some I have to wait and see here. I can't remember if I used the rub and buff or if I used the pennies from heaven or golden rule. The pennies from heaven and golden rule are by DIY. The rub and buff I ordered off of Amazon, and you can find that in my Amazon store link that I'll put in the description. But look at that gorgeous piece, guys. Tell me you can't help but love that piece. And if you got too much dark wax, go back over it with your white wax or clear wax. It will act like an eraser and take off some of that. But yes, gorgeous, gorgeous piece.